Hey everyone, and welcome back to Heartland Today. Today we're stepping into one of the most unforgettable, emotional, and breathtaking chapters in the history of Heartland. If you've been following the show from the very beginning, you already know how deeply Ty Borden's story has touched millions of hearts around the world. For so many fans, Ty's journey wasn't just about being Amy's partner or Lindy's father. His path was about growth, redemption, love, and the quiet strength that family gives us. And now, after years of heartbreak, hope, and endless discussions among fans, Season 19, Episode 1 brings us something we thought was impossible: Ty Borden's return. In this video, we're going to break down exactly how Heartland sets the stage for his shocking comeback, how Amy reacts when she finally sees him again, and why this moment shakes the very foundation of what we know about the series. But before we dive in, don't forget to support the channel. If you love Heartland as much as we do, make sure to like this video, leave a comment with your thoughts, and subscribe to Heartland Today. That way, you'll always be the first to know when we release new Heartland breakdowns, updates, and theories. The build-up, one of the most powerful things about Heartland, is the way it creates deep emotion without needing big, flashy spectacles. Season 19, Episode 1 doesn't throw Ty back into the story right away. Instead, it carefully builds anticipation, layering hints, subtle cues, and emotional tones that signal something life-changing is about to unfold. We open with Amy at the ranch, moving through her usual routine with the horses. But something feels different. The air is calm, almost too calm, and the camera focuses on small details. Amy's hands brushing through a horse's mane, the steady rhythm of hooves against the dirt, the wind drifting through the fields. It's as if the entire ranch is holding its breath. The episode also weaves in little echoes of the past, almost like memories sneaking into the present. Amy hears laughter that reminds her of Ty. She sees Lindy playing in the yard, and for just a second, imagines the life they might have had if Ty had never left. These quiet, emotional moments build tension not by shouting, but by gently tugging at Amy's heart, and at ours. And then, just as the audience begins to settle into what feels like a typical day, everything changes. The moment Ty appears, a silhouette appears in the distance, walking toward the ranch. At first, his face isn't visible. The camera shows only his boots stepping across the dirt, his hands weighed down by a silent history, and the hesitant posture of someone returning to a place that defined who he was. Amy notices. She turns her head and her eyes lock onto the figure. The music swells, and even before the camera confirms it, we know Ty Borden is back. For Amy, this moment is an earthquake. Her entire body freezes, as if her mind refuses to believe what her heart already knows. Her lips part, and she whispers his name, Ty. The sound of it is shaky, fragile, like she's terrified that saying it aloud might shatter the spell and make him vanish again. When Ty takes a step closer, Amy's emotions explode. Years of grief come flooding back. The nights spent crying, the mornings waking to an empty bed, the heartbreak of telling Lindy why her father wasn't there. And now, all of that pain collides with the truth standing right in front of her. Her hands tremble as she walks toward him. Slowly, almost fearfully, she reaches up and touches his cheek. The moment her fingers brush against his skin, she breaks. Her sobs are raw, her tears unrestrained. She clings to him desperately, as if letting go might mean losing him all over again. And what makes this scene so powerful isn't just the joy of reunion. It's the storm of emotions mixed within it. Happiness, pain, anger, and love, all colliding at once. It's messy, it's real, and it shows us that Amy's love for Ty never truly disappeared. Jack's reaction when Jack sees Ty standing at Heartland again, it feels as if time itself folds back. Jack has lived many roles in his life: father, grandfather, mentor, and friend. But one of his most meaningful roles has been the steady guiding light for Ty. From the very beginning, when Ty first arrived at Heartland as a troubled boy with a difficult past, Jack believed in him. He gave him a chance when others wouldn't. He offered patience when others doubted him, and he stood by him as Ty grew into a man worthy of Amy's love and Lindy's future. So when Jack's eyes finally meet Ty's after all these years, there are no grand speeches or over-the-top gestures. Instead, the moment is quiet, steady, but incredibly profound. Jack's lips press into a tight line, his chest rises heavily, and his eyes glisten with unspoken emotion. He doesn't rush forward. He doesn't need to. Jack has always understood that some moments are too big for words. Finally, he steps forward, rests his weathered hand firmly on Ty's shoulder, and then pulls him into a strong embrace. In classic Jack Bartlett fashion, no words are necessary. That hug carries everything: his relief, his pride, his love, and his unshakable belief that family survives no matter how dark the storm. Later, when the family is overwhelmed by questions and emotions, Jack becomes the anchor. His wisdom gently reminds everyone that Ty's return isn't just a miracle. It's also the beginning of a difficult journey, a journey that will require patience, forgiveness, and time. Lindy's moment, perhaps the most emotional moment of all, comes when Lindy finally sees her father. For years, her world has been filled only with stories, photographs, and the memories Amy and the family shared with her. She knew Ty through the sparkle in her mother's eyes when talking about him, and through the love that surrounded his name. But she never truly felt his presence. When Ty kneels down and opens his arms, Lindy pauses. She studies him carefully, her young mind trying to connect the stranger in front of her with the father she's always longed for. And then, in a heart-melting moment, she runs into his arms. Wrapping her small hands tightly around his neck, she whispers the word she's dreamed of saying her whole life: Daddy. That single word carries the weight of years of longing, loss, and hope. Ty holds her close, tears welling in his eyes, and whispers back a promise that he's here now, and he isn't going anywhere. For Lindy, this is the start of a brand new chapter, the chance to build a bond with the father she's always missed. For viewers, it's a reminder of the purity and innocence of a child's love that is unconditional and unbroken. No matter how much time has passed, Georgie's response to Ty's return is powerful because it shows just how much she has grown. As a child, Georgie was fiery, impulsive, and quick to wear her emotions on her sleeve. Back then, she might have greeted Ty with overwhelming joy or anger. But now, she has matured into a strong, independent young woman who balances her feelings with thoughtful reflection. When she first sees Ty, her eyes immediately fill with tears. She hugs him tightly, remembering just how much he meant to her while she was growing up. But then she steps back. She doesn't let the wave of emotion blind her. Instead, she asks the hard questions: where he's been, why he left, and how he expects to return to a life that has moved forward without him. Georgie's reaction is important because it's real. She doesn't just accept him blindly. She wrestles with the complexity of the moment, becoming a voice of reason. She challenges both Ty and the family to face the truth of their emotions and to be honest about what comes next. Her maturity adds depth to the episode, showing that love and healing are not simple. They require honesty, even when it's difficult. Lou's response to Ty's return is layered with both joy and hesitation. On one hand, she's overjoyed to see him alive and back at Heartland. She knows what this means for Amy and Lindy, and she can't deny the relief that washes over her when she sees the family whole again. But Lou is also cautious. She's protective of her sister, and her mind immediately goes to the risks. How will Amy handle this emotionally if things fall apart again? How will Lindy adjust if her father's return isn't permanent? These questions weigh heavily on Lou's heart. At first, her reaction is restrained. She hangs back, watching Amy and Ty, her face caught between disbelief and cautious optimism. But eventually, her emotions win out. She steps forward, her eyes brimming with tears, and hugs Ty. The embrace is genuine, warm, and filled with love, even if her heart still carries doubts. Lou's reaction mirrors what many fans themselves feel. It's not just unshakable happiness. It's happiness mixed with worry. A cautious hope that maybe, just maybe, this time things will last. Tim's reaction. Tim Fleming's response might be the most complicated of all. At first, he hides behind his usual toughness. He crosses his arms, sizes Ty up, and demands answers. His words are sharp, even laced with anger. To Tim, it feels almost impossible to accept Ty back into the fold after so many years of absence and pain. But as the episode unfolds, cracks begin to show in his armor. Beneath his blunt exterior is a man who, deep down, loved Ty like a son. He remembers their history, the way Ty helped Amy heal, and the bond they once shared. In a surprising moment, Tim pulls Ty aside, away from the others. His voice is quiet, almost trembling, as he admits that despite his doubts, he's glad to see him back. It's a rare glimpse of vulnerability from Tim, proof that even the hardest walls can soften when family is involved. A family shaken, a family restored. The family's reactions together create an emotional whirlwind. Joy, disbelief, anger, and relief all swirl in the same space. It's not a clean, perfect reunion, and that's what makes it so powerful. Heartland has always shown that real family isn't about perfection. It's about love that endures, even when tested by time and hardship. Ty's return doesn't erase the pain of the past, but it does spark the beginning of something new, a chance to rebuild, to forgive, and to grow stronger together. Amy's inner struggle, while the rest of the family is processing Ty's return in their own ways, Amy's journey is the most personal and complicated of all. For years, she has lived with the grief of losing him. She rebuilt her life piece by piece, focusing on Lindy, the horses, and the ranch. She found strength in the pain and over time learned how to carry on without him. Ty wasn't just her husband. He was her partner in every sense of the word. His absence left a hole that nothing could truly fill. So when he walks back into her life, Amy is hit with a tidal wave of emotions. At first, she wants nothing more than to run into his arms, to believe that everything is finally right again. And for a moment, she does. The relief, the joy, the love, it all comes flooding back. But then the doubts creep in. What if this is temporary? What if he leaves again? And how can she trust her heart when it has been broken once before? Amy's struggle is raw and honest. She's caught between the undeniable love she still feels for Ty and the fear that opening herself up again could destroy her. It's a deeply human reaction, one that makes her character all the more relatable. The family gathering later in the episode, the family comes together for a meal, a classic Heartland tradition. But this time, the air is charged with unspoken tension. The table feels both familiar and strange. Ty's presence is comforting, yet it also stirs up old wounds. Conversations stumble, glances linger, and emotions bubble just beneath the surface. Jack tries to lighten the mood, offering his steady wisdom. Lou fusses over the details, trying to keep things normal. Tim throws in a few pointed remarks, unable to fully hide his doubts. And Amy sits quietly, her eyes constantly drifting toward Ty, as if she's trying to convince herself that he's really there. Lindy, however, breaks the tension in the most beautiful way. With childlike innocence, she reaches for her father's hand and declares that the food tastes better now that he's home. Her words bring smiles to the table, softening the heaviness of the moment. It's a reminder that sometimes children see the truth more clearly than adults. Love is simple, and being together is what truly matters. The road ahead, the episode doesn't wrap everything up neatly, and that's intentional. Ty's return isn't meant to erase the past or fix every wound overnight. Instead, it sets the stage for a season filled with healing, forgiveness, and rediscovery. Viewers are left with questions. How will Amy and Ty rebuild their relationship after so much time apart? Will the family truly accept him back, or will doubts linger? And most importantly, how will Ty himself adjust to a life that has moved forward without him? The beauty of Heartland has always been its honesty. Life is messy. Healing takes time. And love, while powerful, requires effort and trust. This storyline promises to explore all of those themes in ways that will resonate deeply with longtime fans. Tim's vulnerability, as he admits that despite everything, he's glad Ty is back. His words are brief, but the emotion behind them is unmistakable. For Tim, vulnerability has never come easily, yet in this moment, the weight of his true feelings shines through. He tells Ty that while he's angry about the years lost and the pain Amy endured, he's also grateful for this second chance. It's one of those rare glimpses where Tim drops his defenses, revealing the softer heart that only those closest to him ever get to see. The scene between the two men doesn't just heal old wounds, it also sets the foundation for a renewed bond, one built not only on history, but on forgiveness. A new dawn for Heartland. As the episode draws to a close, the atmosphere at Heartland shifts. The ranch has always been a place of healing, a place where broken spirits find their way back to wholeness. Ty's return reignites that theme in a powerful way. We see Amy standing by the barn, gazing out at the land she and Ty once dreamed about building their future on. Ty steps beside her, and for a moment, neither says a word. Their silence speaks volumes. There's pain in their past, but there's also love. The kind of love that doesn't simply fade away with time. Amy finally turns to him and says softly that rebuilding won't be easy, but she's willing to try. Ty responds with equal sincerity, promising he'll do whatever it takes to earn back the trust he lost. It's not a perfect resolution, and it's not supposed to be. Instead, it's a promise of hard work, patience, and love strong enough to weather any storm. Closing narration. As the screen fades to black, the message of the episode is clear. Family is complicated, healing takes time, and love is never truly gone. Ty's return doesn't erase the past, but it offers the Bartlett-Fleming family, and all of us watching, a reminder of what makes Heartland so special. It's about second chances, forgiveness, and the courage to open your heart again, even when it's been broken. And as always, here on Heartland Today, we'll be diving deeper into the themes, emotions, and journeys of the characters you love most. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe if you're excited for what's ahead this season. Trust me, if this premiere is any indication, we're in for one of the most unforgettable chapters in Heartland history.